what's up, Slunts? Joker here. Today is February 10th, 2015, and that means that Evolve has just come out for the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. The game from the developer Turtle Rock Studios, who previously brought us the game franchise Left 4 Dead, with Left 4 Dead 1 and Left 4 Dead 2, and also from 2K Studios, the publisher that brought us games like Borderlands and Duke Nukem Forever. If you remember back a few weeks ago, I did a video on why you should not pre-order Evolve, where I basically discussed at length the practices that 2K is employing with this game, with pre-order bonuses, stripped out content, and DLC for day one, as well as post-launch DLC that has already been planned out with overpriced content like monsters and hunters costing up to $15 each, and a season pass, which is priced at $25, which is out now day one, that you can go ahead and get for the game. Now, the DLC doesn't end there. There's also a total of $61 worth of skin packs that you can go ahead and get for the game right now on day one. So this is content that was seemingly removed from the game that people are paying $60 for to get. You know, if you're paying the full retail price, obviously you could go on websites like G2A or Kinguin if you want. You could probably get the game for around $35 or $40. And if you really are set on getting the game then on the PC, then I do advise that you go to a website like that so that you can save yourself some money. But I really can't advise that anyone really go and buy this game just from an ethical standpoint, really, because of the stripped out extra content that I laid out in the last video pretty extensively. And it's also been covered at length by other YouTubers like Boogie2988 and Jim Sterling and Total Biscuits. So it's, people are definitely aware of the business practices that are being used by 2K with the game Evolve, and thankfully a lot of fans, or not fans really, but a lot of the community has really stepped forward now after the game has come out, and are trying to at least put things right and try to put their foot down when in regards to this, because we've really been hosed in the past by a lot of games like Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed Unity. Sorry to put Ubisoft kind of front and center there, but if the shoe fits, so. Yeah, this is not the first time this has happened. We've seen it with lots of games. If you remember, like if you ever looked at like the Tiger Woods games, those came out like loads of day one DLC, and racing games like Forza, just loads of extra day one content, cars, racetracks, all that sort of stuff. So this is something that's been happening over the past few years, and it's progressively been getting worse and worse because we as gamers have kind of let it go on, because before, with the whole advent of how online has become so much more accessible now within the gaming landscape over the last 7 or 8 years, I would say, after basically the last generation of consoles came out, maybe like a year or two after they came out, and online started to really come into its own on that platform, we started to see downloadable content being more prevalent and more accessible to pretty much everyone. So, there was a hunger out there and a thirst by gamers to want more content, and the developers and publishers were quick to meet that demand, which then very quickly also wound up getting abused by a lot of people and a lot of publishers, and now it's just become commonplace really to have this extended bullshit pack of day one DLC bonuses to help justify their over-budgeted games that really don't live up to the cost of what you're spending on a lot of this stuff. You're going out, you're spending like $5 on just a skin, or $15 on a single monster for a game that costs $60 to begin with. Like, how does that work out? If you're paying for a full game for $60, which comes with 3 monsters and a number of hunters and maps and all that stuff. I don't know the exact numbers for Evolve, for all the monsters and hunters, but there's 3 monsters I know of. So if you're getting that for $60 and then you're going to go out and pay $15 for just a single monster, that's really just giving them a license to kill, more or less. It's just saying, this is okay, you can keep on doing this, and if you can't make back the money that you spent on marketing and developing the game and getting it out there, with the $60 price tag, then you could just make that all up with the DLC afterwards. And that's not okay, in my opinion. If you're paying $60 for a game, you should get the full game. Now, I know a lot of naysayers out there are going to say, well, you don't have to buy the DLC. Now, that's true, you don't have to buy the DLC. But if you're going out and you're pre-ordering the game and you're putting down all this money, and maybe you don't come from a lot of means, you don't have a lot of money, so maybe you saved up for a while to get this game because you played the alpha, you played the beta, you really liked the game, and you wanted to get it day one, and now you're missing out on all this extra content just because you can't afford it. That's wrong. That should not be happening with any game ever, in my opinion. And I think a lot of this also has to do with the fact that You know, when a game is set to be coming out now, when they're pitching a game, when a developer is pitching a game that they want to do to a publisher, maybe they all are trying to almost like fit this mold really of what's sort of seen as what the precipice of what a game should reach. They think every game has to be the next Call of Duty or the next Assassin's Creed or Battlefield so that they could have this annual release cycle and DLC and season passes and all this extra shit. And if you remember Dr. Malcolm from Jurassic Park, I think he said it really well. If you remember the lunch scene from the very first film, he said before you even knew what you had, you patented it, you packaged it, and you slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You're selling it. And this is what they are doing. This is what the publishers are doing. This is what they're getting away with. They take a game, a decent concept for a game, what could have been good, and before they even have bothered to worry about the logistics of making the game good and developing a good quality game, they're just worried about the pre-order bonuses. Oh, how could we bundle in a pre-order bonus for GameStop and another one for Amazon and one for Best Buy so that when you pre-order over here you get this thing and when you pre-order here you get this thing. This has just been happening over the past few years, just getting worse and worse and worse. And if you don't do something, if we as gamers don't do something now, then it's just going to continue. Now, thankfully, with Evolve, it seems that a lot of gamers have really sort of put their foot down in regards to all this DLC and pre-order stuff. And if you look on the Steam reviews, there's a load of negative reviews. There's over 1,000 negative reviews, coming up on 1,500. So the scores are just really, really down as far as the user side is concerned. If you look on Metacritic, it actually has a fairly decent score right now of, I think, around 83. But there's only about 5 or 6 reviews in from big retail outlets. But if you look at the user scores, it's down to like a 4.8. And on Steam, there's just massively negative reviews. And it's not even really saying that the game is necessarily bad. Besides the DLC and all that, I still think that it's still an overpriced game, even at $60, because I just see it getting boring really quick. Unless you really have a group of 3 other friends that you're going to sit down and play this game with on a daily basis, I just see it getting tired really, really fast. That's just my opinion. But looking through all of these user reviews, it's just you're seeing a consistent thing where they're just really annoyed about the pre-order DLCs and the pre-order bonuses and the DLCs and having to spend all this extra money and 2K's really, really bad business practices. This is what gamers are annoyed about, and I'm happy to see that in the reviews. I'm happy that it's reflecting gamers' attitudes and opinions towards this type of thing, because it's something that needs to be out there. It's something that needs to be more public, more vocal, so that maybe we could prevent this happening in the future. And you can help with this. You can help by not pre-ordering games in 2015. You can help by not buying games that stand behind this type of business model, even if it's something you're really, really excited about. I want more people to, try to get behind this and really try to do what they can. I know it's hard. Trust me, I'd like to play Evolve today. I enjoyed the alpha and the beta. I still don't want to spend $60 on it, but I probably would be a buyer at around maybe $20 if it were to come down on sale. But just on principle alone, I'm not going to pick the game up. Just because of all the things I've mentioned here today. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. I know that there's, 2 sides to the coin here. I know a lot of people on the last video had given me a lot of flack for what I was saying about this, and I think a lot of that just, honestly, it has to do with fanboyism. They're just like, they like the game, and it doesn't matter what the developers are doing or the publishers. They just think it's okay to just throw money at the problem and just keep giving them more money and saying it's okay for them to do it because they're getting the game that they like. And you know what? If you like the game and you want to play the game and you want to plop down $60, then you know what? More power to you. I'm not going to stop you, but I have to put my foot down and at least get the message out there so that I feel like I'm doing my part and hope that more people will hear, start to think this way, or at least just to think, at least just to stir up some thoughts to make people think before they buy, before they pre-order in the future. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. After games in the past with the pre-order content and the DLC, are you fed up with all of this stuff, or are you going to be picking up Evolve despite what's happened? Let me know down in the comments below. I really would appreciate that. But that's going to wrap it up for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please stick a like on it below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. And if you ever want to help contribute to future videos or just keep up with what I'm doing, you can always follow me on Facebook and Twitter at JokerSlunt. I'll catch you guys next time. Ta-ra!